What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, Demo's Diecast. Keeping it rolling today with another opening video from our haul from the Diecast SuperCon convention. Super excited to open these up. Like I mentioned in the couple previous videos, I'm a huge Formula One guy, so we are going to open what we got from Mike at RDDC. Picked up a couple of the Mini GT Formula 1s. I have some other Formula 1 models in 1/64th scale that we're going to kind of compare with. And then also we're going to open up our Super Silhouette R34. And I have a couple other Super Silhouettes, the R30 and the R35 here, just to kind of get a little comparison. So without further ado, man, let's jump into it. First up, we'll go with Sergio from the Red Bull Racing team, Sergio Perez. So the two drivers currently for Red Bull, and at least when Red Bull's had this livery, are Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. Max being the champion, the previous 3 years. His car's a little bit harder to find, but in all honesty, I'm super happy to grab Sergio. Great driver, great guy. So let's tear into this and take a closer look. And let's take a look. Nice. So this is going to be a representation of last year's 2023 car. Let's take a close-up look at this model. Wow, dude. This is really, really nice. Really, really cool. Super, super sick. So you've got plenty of decals, all of the original livery for the car. And sheesh. All right, let's review. So let's start from the side. Take a look here. You've got your side skirts, which is part of your ground effects package, all carbon fiber, super dope. In real life, these cars are all carbon fiber. Every piece of the body is carbon fiber. They just have liveries painted on them, but every piece is going to be carbon fiber. Let's take a look at this front wing. You've got your carbon fiber slats here on the upper. Like I said, these front two slats would also be carbon fiber, but they left these unpainted to kind of show that effect. So that's super sick. You do have your slick race tires with the Pirelli P0s on there. This white stripe around the outside of the tire designates which tire this is. So in Formula One, this would be the hard compound tire. The medium compound tire would have a yellow stripe with writing around it, and the soft compound tire would have a red stripe with writing around it. So that's super sick. They got that spot on. You do have these little, I guess you can call them fenders. I'm not even sure what these are or why they're in there. Obviously, everything on a Formula One car has a purpose. So they don't just put things on there just to put them on there. They can't afford to add any weight for something that isn't adding performance. But you do have the carbon fiber overlays there, Hard Rock stickers. Sergio is number 11. Max now rocks number 1, but before he became champion, he was number 33. So if you win the championship in Formula One, you have the option to keep your current number, or you can change to the number 1. This is the Halo. So this was introduced about 6 or 7 years ago. And basically what this is there for, as you can see, his head does come slightly above the halo here if you were to look at it from the side, but from the front, it's not. So if this car were to roll, the first thing that would come into contact would be the halo instead of the driver's helmet. So that was a safety precaution that they added to the cars. And sure enough, they've had 2 cars roll since they introduced those. and no injury to the drivers whatsoever. The halo did its job, stopped them. So this is going to be your T-bar up here, your camera bar. This is your intake. Let's take a look. You do have your side pods here, so this is where your air for your cooling goes into the radiators. It's going to come through here and out the rear. Let's take a look at the engine cover. Engine cover does have the Red Bull painted on it, and also the Red Bull team runs Honda engines, so you've got your Honda branding there. Of course, Red Bull again. Same hard compound tire on the rear. You cannot mix and match compounds in Formula One. You have to run the same compound on all four. Let's take a look at the rear. This right here is going to be a rain light. They do not have brake lights in Formula One, so amazingly enough, as fast as they go, there's no brake lights. They're just depending on the other driver in front of them, knowing what they're doing, stopping on time, etc., etc. You have a small little wing here. You have the large wing with the Oracle branding. That's one of their sponsors. You have an exhaust pipe here, a little bit of an opening to that, so that's super cool. Rear diffuser. Could not be more happy with it, to be honest with you. I waited a while for these Mini GT Formula 1s to drop. They dropped a couple of the older body styles, but I was waiting for these new body styles to come out, so super, super happy to add that one to the collection. We will toss Sergio back there. This one is going to be Yuki Tsunoda, Japanese driver for the AlphaTauri team. This is also a Red Bull sponsored team. So they are not called Red Bull. They are called AlphaTauri, but they are sponsored by Red Bull. So when we get this out, you will see the Red Bull verbiage and pictures on the car. Let's take a look at the AlphaTauri. Again, great detail. So as you can see, like I was mentioning with the other model, this guy is going to be rocking the soft tire for this particular race. What's crazy is, so there's 3 compounds available for each race, soft, medium, hard, but they vary. So say this race, right, you have the red, the yellow, and the white. They can change which, so basically this soft compound tire could be a hard compound tire in another race, and they could run 2 softer compounds than this, or this could be a medium where they have 1 compound softer, 1 compound harder. So they kind of switch that up just to keep it interesting. It also depends on the track that they're on, the tire degradation, how rough the surface is, etc., etc. Let's take a look at this guy. Super sick. Super sick. Got your carbon fiber side skirt here again. Yuki's number 22. You do have your Red Bull branding here. Got all your livery and stuff there. AlphaTauri livery branding down the side. You do have a front little splitter outside winglet thing here. Again, the over fenders or front fender, whatever you want to call this, is going to be carbon fiber as well. Let's take a look at that front. No carbon fiber detail on this front wing. This team is also going to be running Honda engines. I don't know if the Honda branding is going to be on here anywhere, so we'll take a look at that. There it is. So there's your Honda branding. Got your AlphaTauri branding, carbon fiber rear wing. Super sick. This one actually has a gold exhaust pipe, so that's super dope. Rain light again. Take a look at that under. So nothing too much there, just the ground effects that they're kind of showing off. So really happy with this one. Got your halo again, and Yuki's in there. I do love the fact that they have the drivers in the car. That makes it so much more better. I still collect ones that don't have drivers, but when it has a driver, that's just like, you know, the icing on the cake per se. So super happy with this one. Let's go ahead and set this guy back here. Let's take a look at some of the other examples that we have. So this is going to be Lewis Hamilton's car from his rookie season. This is a McLaren Mercedes. See if we can get the details on the bottom for you guys. This is going to be a Kyosho model. This is the model number for this was an MP426. That's McLaren's model numbers. So let's grab one of our new ones and kind of take a look at the difference between the cars. So you can tell how much the cars have evolved over the years. whereas your front wing is now connected to the front plane, whereas before you had these risers that kind of brought the wing down a little bit. You had a lot more aero on the front wing on the older car. They also still went with the same formula for the wheels, so these would be a medium compound tire. Let's take a look. So you've got your Vodafone branding there, which is going to be the sponsor for McLaren Mercedes back then. Number. Got your McLaren branding here, Vodafone branding on the rear wing there, Vodafone again on the front, number 4, Mercedes power. That's the other cool thing with Formula One is, so McLaren in this sense was the manufacturer of the chassis, and they chose to use Mercedes engines. McLaren is currently in Formula One, and they still run Mercedes engines. So even though McLaren is a successful car company itself, they could build their own engines. However, they just trust the reliability and the technology that a current supplier already has. So super, super dope. Love this model. This was my first 164 in a Formula One car. Next up, we have the tarmac version. This is going to be the 2022 Mercedes. They ran an all-black livery that year. This was, I believe, the second year or third of the new body style. So front wing was a little bit different on this one. No, I'm sorry. This was before they changed the body style. So they did add the halo on this one. Got that nice black paint. Again, everything on this would be carbon fiber. Doesn't look like... So, again, this is the tarmac. Doesn't look like tarmac decided to go with the carbon fiber print down here on the side skirts. Matter of fact, I don't see any carbon fiber print anywhere on this car. But all in all, still happy with it. Still love it. Let's take a look at the rear. No real good detail for the rain light on the tarmac, so that's kind of disappointing. Looks like Mini GT is going to get the nod on these Formula One cars because so far I'm seeing much more detail on the Mini GTs than I am on this tarmac. So this guy's going to be running hard compound tire. Got your T-bar up here again. Halo. This one does not have a driver. Wing mirrors. Some aero and stuff out here. And then we'll take a look at the base on this. So this is 164, the W12E Performance. These cars, so let's see. This one here, the two Red Bulls we opened, the other Hamilton that I'm going to show you that's back here, this guy. These all run in a power plant of a twin turbo V6 hybrid. So they have electric motors and they also run a twin turbo. It's a 1.6 liter V6. So tiny, tiny, tiny motors. But of course the engines rev to well over probably about 16,000 RPMs. So in order to have a rotating assembly rotating that fast, everything's got to be small. You can't really have a large motor doing all that. So this one here, unfortunately, there is no branding on the bottom. I want to say this was a Kyosho, but I don't remember. I can't remember what brand this one was. So again, you have your side skirts, no carbon fiber print there. Let's take a look at the front wing. No carbon fiber detail on the front wing there. Lewis Hamilton's number. This is going to be the 2023 car, so this is from last year. And this one, I don't know if I broke it off or if it just didn't come with it, but there should be a yellow T-bar up here. You've got your Petronas branding there. So this one, super, super sick. Soft compound tire on this guy. Sometimes you'll get a rain tire, which will be treaded. Rain tires would have, the intermediate rain tire would have a green stripe around the outside, and the full wet would have a blue stripe. So AMG Performance there, decal there. Let's take a look at this rear. Again, no detail on that rain light. Kind of disappointing. Really plain exhaust pipe. Kind of disappointing. Again, these are models that I've had in my collection for a little while. But before I started the channel, I really didn't have any reason to kind of inspect them and look at them up close and kind of compare them. So to be honest with you guys, I'm learning a lot about these cars right along with you. So I think that's pretty cool. You do have your Mercedes emblems and your branding here on the back, so that's pretty sick. All in all, really love these models. Lewis, my favorite driver currently. However, I am a Honda guy, as I've told you guys. Going with my man Lewis over here. Next up is going to be, this is Ayrton Senna. This is his 1991 car. I do believe he won the championship in this car. These cars were V12s, if I'm not mistaken, with a manual gearbox, so no paddle shifters, none of that. This was a manual gearbox. He was shifting with the tree, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. This was a Honda-powered car, as you can see here, also powered by Honda. Ayrton Senna, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Formula One driver of all time. There is no debate or argument about that. Ayrton's life was cut short, unfortunately, by a crash in a race, and he did pass away. So that was unfortunate, but during his time, easily hands down the greatest driver of his time and possibly the greatest driver of Formula One all time. This was I can't remember the brand on this one either. I picked this up from a guy locally. As a matter of fact, he was selling it online. He got it for $10. I had to drive about 30 minutes to go meet him, but it was a no-brainer. So ever since I've had this one, super happy. You've got Senna in here with the Brazil-colored helmet. Senna is Brazilian. That's his nationality. And then last up, actually, this would have been the first 1/64th scale Formula One that I added to my collection. This is the older McLaren Mercedes. This would have been before Lewis Hamilton's days. This would have been Mika Häkkinen's car back then. So this is also a McLaren Mercedes. So as you can see here, you have your McLaren branding, Mobil 1. What's that say there? Computer Associates, so that's going to be a sponsor on there. Take a look at the rear, Loctite, some other sponsors. No rain light on this one either. And on these Formula One cars back then, the exhaust would have come out somewhere around here in the back. This is actually a Hot Wheels, believe it or not. Let's take a look at that. Yep, Hot Wheels, McLaren MP413. So this came in a 2-pack of 1/64 scale Formula One cars. I do have the 2-pack sealed, but I only have this one car loose. So super, super happy to have this one. Beautiful, beautiful car. And if you notice on this guy, there is no print on the tires, and they do have treaded tires. Back then they were running treaded tires. Now they run nothing but slicks. So super, super dope. Love this casting. Can't wait to add the other ones with these guys in the case. Now, this is going to be the R34 Super Silhouette Nissan Skyline. Again, picked this one up from Mike at RDDC at the convention. He had a table on the floor. Great guy, great prices, great selection. Check him out. Can't say it enough. Let's get this guy open. Love it. Absolutely love it. Crazy detail. I do have this in the Hot Wheels. I do not have a premium diecast of this. I have been looking for one, waiting to pick one up. Just wanted to grab the right one, and the time was right when this guy came along. So super, super, super sick. Love it. I probably would have been more happy with the Inno64 resin, but to be honest with you, I kind of like the diecast, just a little bit more durable. I'm really interested to see if this guy rolls, so let's get him off the base. Crazy, crazy model. I do have a few other CM models. I think I have an Evo 8 or 9. And I have some McLaren CM models as well. Look at that. It looks like it's going to be a roller, guys. super dope. Roller, love it. Let's take a closer look at this. See this detail. So you've got your Super Silhouette kit, front bumper, over fender, got all your decals, Liberty Walk, Liberty Walk, Liberty Walk. You got your Bride or Brid, I've heard it pronounced both ways. Your other Liberty Walk decal here, imagine all the people living in peace with the Japan flag, super sick. You've got what looks like some Nismo LMGT4s, and you also have a red brake caliper back there. That's sick. You can see the rotor as well. Let's take a look on the rear wheel, same thing, red brake caliper, silver rotor in the back. You do have a yellow cage in here, just like the Hot Wheels version came. Let's take a look at this rear. Super dope. You have the rear diffuser, your rear high-rise wing, silhouette style with the post in the middle, lensed rear taillights, Nissan PDC branding. Take a look at this side. You guys can kind of see that I'm shaking because I'm just super excited and blown away by this model right now. You've got an exhaust pipe coming out the side right here. That's super dope. Not really deep, but there is a little depth to it, and painted black, so that's super nice. Same as far as the livery and decals go on this side. Let's take a look at the bottom. Not too much crazy detail. You have that exhaust pipe coming out the side. These guys are screwed together, and your rear screw is not going to be covered up by a diffuser, so if you wanted to take this guy apart, you could. Let's see if we can get any details from the inside. Other than the cage, I do see the red seats. Let's see if they have any print on there. I would assume because we have the Brid sticker or the Bride sticker over here on the side, these are going to be Bride seats, so it does look like I see some Bride print there. Rigid mirrors on this one as well. Take a look, see if we can see those seats any better through the front. Fingers kind of making a reflection in the glare. There we go, a little bit better view there, so you can see your Bride writing on the seats there. Super sick. Man, I am super happy with this model. And to be honest with you, after holding this premium one in hand, Hot Wheels did an amazing job on their version of this car. Incredible how close that model is to this. Super, super sick. You can see that there is a flat spot on this front tire. For those that don't collect premium diecast, so that is an issue when these come screwed down. Sometimes the screws are really, really tight, so it's like sucking everything down and compressing it, and you end up getting flat spots on the tires. So you can work through that. You kind of have to rotate your cars in the case every now and then, but we'll work on that, see if we can get that fixed. Let's see. So that's where the flat spot is, so you can definitely see. I don't know if we'll get that one out, but looks like this one has one on the front as well. Not as bad as the other side, but all in all, it does still roll. So I'm super stoked with that. Let's take a look at the R35 Silhouette. This is a Mini GT. Again, the Silhouette kit. Nissan Advan matte black on this one. You've got your Nissan Liberty Walk wheels. Super dope. HKS badge there. You do have a reflector painted here, so that's sick. Gas cap detail, lensed rear tail lights, exhaust, not too much detail on there, but still dope. HKS badging there, Liberty Walk on the rear license plate, Advan. You do have a high-rise wing with like a kind of a lip spoiler here. You can see how that kind of hangs over. Take a look at this side, pretty much all the same stuff. And on the interior, not too much crazy detail. I don't see anything on the seats or anything in there, but do have a Liberty Walk banner across the top window there, so that is super dope. Love this model. I have a few other Silhouette R35s as well, but this one is probably one of the prized cars in my collection. This is the Tomica Silhouette R30. You can just see that gap close up as I push that. This front engine cover comes off. We will show you that here in a second. Let's look at this from the outside. So you do have your rear high wing. So this is kind of built off of like the Bozozuku style cars with the wide body. This is one of the original silhouettes. This kit was not, to my knowledge, this kit was not done by Liberty Walk, but this was what Liberty Walk is basing their silhouette kits off of, is the older JDM silhouette style. So super, super dope. You've got a nice mesh rear wheel here. It actually is not really mesh. It is a solid wheel. It just has those that gold painted on there. Do have an exhaust coming out of the side. Tomica branding, which is what the real car had. Dunlop branding. RS turbo here. Let's take a look at the rear. You do have your lens tails. Nothing too much going on in the rear. Let's take a look at this side. The real gem of this car is underneath the hood. I cannot wait to get this off and show it to you guys. Front wheel is going to be mesh. These are period correct wheels for this race car. And then this one also came with a little antenna up top. I actually had to glue that in. That is like removable. So yeah, it's actually kind of loose, but I'm not going to mess with it too much. Let's take a look at that interior, because the interior on this car is crazy. So wow, check that out. Look at that race seat with the harnesses on there. You've got a fire suppression system down in there. You've got your center console. Let's take a look from this side to see if we can see any more. So yeah, look at that center console with the shifter, steering wheel, everything. This model is crazy. So now let's get the engine cover off. Nothing too major there. You do have lensed headlights on this one. So let's see, take a look. It does say 4-valve DOHC, that's dual overhead cam RS turbo. So we'll go ahead and set that front end down and then take a look at this engine. Crazy. Insane. So you've got your inline 4-cylinder intake manifold. You have your front mount intercooler here, front oil cooler here. This is going to be your header coming off, or exhaust manifold, however you want to call it. That is going to be attached to a turbo, which is not crazy easy to see, but yes, this is the turbo there, and then your exhaust comes off and out the side. You do have your orange couplers here, so this is where the piping would meet the intercooler piping, and then you would have a coupler with like a clamp to hold that down. You got your front bracing. Basically, this is going to be a tube chassis car. Again, this is a full-on race car. Really good detail here on the front of your engine. Man, I love this model. And you do have these ducts right here. These ducts are brake ducts, so you can tell the hose and it leads to the brakes here, brakes in the front, and I would imagine this one here is going to lead all the way to the rear brakes for cooling on those. Rigid mirrors. Without a doubt, this is one of my favorite cars in my collection. Without a doubt, no questions. So glad I was able to share it with you guys. Let's get this one set back down. All in all, man, super happy with the haul and all the cars here. Love it, loving it. All in all, man, hope you guys enjoy the comparisons and just the kind of show and tell here. Really happy with the two Red Bull Mini GT Formula One models. I think Mini GT has got it right. Tarmacs are nice, but the Mini GTs are that much better. So if that's something that you guys were looking at, kind of undecided on whether or not you were going to buy, hopefully I helped you make a decision, or I gave you enough information to make an educated or an informed decision about which one you want to buy. And yeah, that way you can enjoy it instead of making a purchase and regretting it. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Let me know down in the comments which one of these was your favorite. Did you like some of the older model Formula Ones that we had over here? What you thought about the Tomica R30, the Silhouette, any of them. So thank you again, guys, for tuning in. Much appreciated. And we will see you guys on the next one. We're going to keep going through all the Diecast convention stuff. So we've got a few more bangers coming up. Super excited and ready to open those. So we'll just keep it moving. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one. One love.